Hi everybody, today we are going to practice shading and drawing objects from real life. We started this yesterday with our introduction to space, scale, and proportion. And today we're going to work on another practice drawing that gears us up and gets us ready for our toilet paper still life that we're going to do later on today. Okay, so before we do a drawing, I like to do practice drawing, little tiny ones, and we like to call those thumbnail sketches. So they're kind of a way to plan out your drawing before you dive in and do the big drawing itself. Sometimes it's intimidating to do a drawing on, one nice piece of paper. You don't want to mess it up, but maybe you've never tried this technique before or you've never done it this way before. So it's good to do little thumbnail sketches to kind of warm up and work out your ideas and your placement and your lighting and your shadows before you do the big real drawing. Okay, so yesterday we did our space, and I've got that on the top of my notebook page. We kind of did our little cup drawing, and then so just down on the page we're going to just do today's. Okay, so today thumbnail is small. I'll do my practice drawings. All right, when I do a thumbnail, I like to do a little square that acts like my piece of paper. So maybe my piece of paper, if my piece of paper is landscape, it would look like that. With this one, you can turn it either way, horizontal or vertical. So portrait or landscape. And I'm just going to do a couple of different ones here. So this is my paper, okay? I've set up my still life for how that I want my toilet paper still life to look. So if you haven't glanced at the instructions for how to do the toilet paper still life, it would be a good idea to go ahead and glance at those first, put me on pause, and then go pull up those instructions, and then you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So you need to set up a still life, your own still life, with 3 or more rolls of toilet paper. So if you've got those toilet paper rolls sitting on a table, you've got to have some kind of light source, okay? So pretend here's my rolls of toilet paper. All right, if I have my light coming from here, got to have a light source. It doesn't matter where it's coming from, but wherever your light is shining, then your shadows are going to be on the opposite side. Opposite light. Opposite of light, okay? So that means your shadows are going to be over here. Very quick shading going on, okay? All right, so thumbnail. I've got my toilet paper rolls set up, and maybe I like the way they're set up like this. And I'm just going to do a really quick sketch of these toilet paper rolls sitting maybe like this, and then there's one sitting up here. Maybe that's how I have them set up. But when I do my little thumbnail, I think, you know what, I don't really like the way those are set up, so I'm going to move them around. So maybe I'll move this one close together with my toilet paper, maybe right next to it, and then I'll have one maybe on top. Maybe I like that setup better. So doing my thumbnail sketches helps me work out where I want my drawing to be placed, how I want it to be placed on my paper. And then I can also work out lighting. So say my light is coming from this way, and my shadows are down here. Do I like that? Or do I want to move my light to a different place? Okay. And as it says on your instruction sheet, it says that you can either put a lamp on one side to be the light source, or you can be by a window. That can be your light, your source of light. Whatever you do, however you set up your toilet paper still life, you need to be able to see the light, medium, and dark. You have to have some shadows somewhere, because that's what's going to make the toilet paper look three-dimensional. Okay, so it's overlapping like we did with our cups, overlapping, okay, and it's also drawing basic forms, okay, because toilet paper rolls are cylinders, all right, so they're basically a cylinder with an ellipse at the top and then a curve at the bottom. That almost looks like more like a soup can. They're usually a little more flat than that, okay? Now, draw light until you know it's right. We want to make sure we do that, okay? And then we can come in and correct our drawing, okay? And add some shadows. All right. So one part of today's drawing practice is thumbnail sketching, okay? Help you get those, the right layout and set up for your still life. And then the second part is I wanted to talk to you guys about shading. So let's go over here and talk about shading. Okay. For this, you probably want a nice, smooth amount of shading, and you can get that by a couple of different ways, okay? So you've got your regular number 2 pencil. You probably don't have any special drawing pencils, and that's okay because we're just going to use our pressure. So we're going to press really light to get light marks on our paper, light shading, and then we're going to go over that. So we can do little lines like this. This is called hatching, okay? We can go over that and push a little harder to make it darker. Okay, we can push even harder to make it darker than that. Okay, so I just want you to practice with your shading. This is hatching, and that's making little lines and doing a light, medium, and a dark. Make sure you have some different shades in there. Okay, another way that you can shade to get a smooth finish is to put your pencil on its side. So a lot of times I hold my pencil like this, like I'm writing, okay, it's a normal way to hold your pencil generally. And then I can flip my pencil over so that I'm using the side of the lead. And see how it makes a more flat and even area of shading. Okay, and then I can do the same thing, light pressure, medium pressure, and then harder pressure so that I can have my light, medium, and dark, okay? Remember to layer your pencil, okay? That's gonna make it look so much more rich and have so much more depth in your drawing. If you do the whole thing, you're gonna shade it in really light, hatching, or smooth shading. Okay, and then you're going to come back over and layer again. And that just makes so much more depth, okay, to what you're drawing. All right, so we're going to set up our toilet paper still life. We're going to make sure that we like how it's set up. You're going to do a couple thumbnail sketches, okay? I want you guys to do about 2 to 3. Okay, so 2 to 3 thumbnail sketches, and then in those little thumbnail sketches, go ahead and practice some shading, just a little bit of shading. Now, if you want to do a bigger regular size sketch, or maybe it's half the size of what you want your final drawing to be, then you can most definitely do a practice before you get into the final drawing. That's fine too. Okay, the more you guys practice, the better it'll be. Okay, make sure when you do your actual drawing that you read all of the instructions on the instruction sheet, read all of the tips that I have, and look at the photos. It's going to help you with setup. It's going to help you with shading. It's going to help you kind of get a more finished look. Make sure that you add the table. I've got that in the instructions. Okay. And then also give yourself some grace, because this is going to be your first fully shaded 3-dimensional drawing, most likely, and I need you guys to give yourself some grace. Don't be so hard on yourself. Make sure that you're having fun with it, because this is kind of difficult stuff. Okay, this is a lot of things to consider when you're doing this drawing. Your final drawing also needs to take up the full page. Okay, So make sure you read all of the instructions that are in the PDF document and also the instructions that are on the assignment tab. And then let me know if you guys have any questions. You guys can show me your sketches tomorrow in small group. Thanks, guys. Have fun today. Bye-bye.